Okay. Well, let's start the stream with some summons, because I did some shopping. To show the furina first try. There's no way. I didn't just pull her first try, huh? I didn't just pull her first try. Okay, I didn't pull it. Wait, that's 4. The 4. Bro, what is this luck? I pulled her first try? What? What? That's insane. I pulled her first try. I might as well try for this then, right? I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but I tried. Yeah, it's perfect. Give me a person? You get a person from the weapons. I want the weapon. Like I really want the weapon. I hope. I don't have enough. I didn't buy enough. It's fine. I got furina. I do want to get the weapon though really badly. I ain't gonna lie, I really want the weapon. But yeah, I have the short swords for furina. Like I have. Wait, she uses short swords or swords? Regular swords. What does your skill do? Is it your normal? What is it this? What? What? See, I agree with Furina. What? What is this telling me? That she'll start a party and everyone in the party heals? And she gets more damage based on how many people she's healing? I guess? Let's I don't use Fiona as much anyways. I could always use the water.
I have high hopes for this.
So what does that? What am I doing? I can go to no, right there. Is this test run? I can always test run for Arena. What am I doing?
How dare you! Teamwork is dreamwork! Let's look! Shower me with praise!
Oh, she...
Let my name echo in song!
Every bit of HP she takes for my team increase damage? Is that what it's telling you?
Boba, get them! Gotta dash! Let's light it up! Time to shine! Hey, ninjutsu! Everybody stand back! Nice and spicy!
So that's what it's telling me? Okay, so she drains the HP of your team to do more damage for herself. That's what it's not. She's not a healer. I thought she was a healer. She's not a healer. Wait, does she self heal? Is that what it is? Is it self healing? Okay, so she's not really a healer per se. She's more of just leech. Basically just a leech. But I pulled her nonetheless, so yeah. Alright, back to Diona. For my
Need
Diona
my-
special. What's up, Diona? They won't. What? Okay. I don't know. I need to get these two, right? Okay. Attributes. I need more of these. I need to get more of these and more of these. I think I can almost... I need to collect one thing for you, right? I need to collect one more of this, some more of this, and these. Okay. Level 80, I can make you your max level 80, I think, so... I don't worry about you after that. Your artifacts are decent. Yours are not the best, but I'm trying. He does a lot of damage now. He definitely does a lot of damage. Okay. What's this? What is all this? But it's the trials. I don't want to do those. What? What is this? I assume I'm gonna have to go there during the Archon quest, so let's okay, no. Let's start the Archon quest. Need a class of 12. Oh, I gotta fix my mic. If I'm gonna hit it every so often, that's not good. Let me let's mute really quick. Give me a second. I don't know, man. It won't fix itself. I give up. Keeps messing up. Is there a way I can switch this to my multi-stream chat or no? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I don't think so. I wish I had a second
This is
monitor
no
for that
time for
reason.
distractions. Seriously, you...
Josh, Lino. Josh. Quiet. No time for you. Yeah, I think the only way I can actually look at the chat is if I get off the screen for YouTube. Which is a little annoying. I go up. It's this one, right? Another sword. Or banana, I guess.
Now for a little rest after breakfast. This is the life. Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede! Come on, we've got to go complete the release procedures now!
I think to catch up that, we're here to investigate child missing, right? And there's no sign of him. But there was signs that he escaped?
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of Mirapede via the regular channels.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and... Huh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks.
Let's go ask the Duke.
Hi, Duke.
Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release papers?
Yep. It's you two. Are you leaving now? That's right! Today is our last day in prison! But now that Paimon... Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of this place now! Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
Taking her with me.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. Alright, sure. Let's go.
Wow, you actually agreed!
Ah, so you do have...
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to...
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Meripede is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since Nervlet was the one who asked us to come here, we should probably go report to him now. Next up... You're going to see Monsieur Nervlet?
I'm sure just your...
I believe it would be...
You're right. I've heard the Palais has...
Oh, this quest. I've been ignoring this quest. Okay, I'll go to it. Oh, good sir. I hate when they do that. Please, please. I'm just not good. I forgot you also do like there are some quests you do. If I ever see someone running at me like this, I'm leaving. I am booking it down the road. Can I get to a car and telling them to drive? The last thing I want to see is this coming at me. This. am I going? Second floor? Third floor? Second? Where am I going? Second floor it is. Fourth floor it is. Wait. Oh. I was already up in the air. First floor it is. Geronimo! Deluge of Wrathful Waters. Is that this? Yeah, it is. Thank you. Oh, I didn't even take the lift. It's right below me. God damn it.
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Neuvillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me, would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. You can see yourselves in.
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been happening. Neuvillette!
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment, as there are some urgent matters I must tend to first. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede, and it appears that you've managed to complete all the release paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was busy with a moment ago. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water levels rose? Oh no! What about all the people there?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I finish things here.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful.
Soy sauce at the vegetable.
Oh no! What happened here? Navia should be around here, right? We need to make sure she's still... Paimon means we need to check on her. We haven't seen a single soul all the way here. Oh, this is getting scary.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone up...
Just stay put! We're coming up! Watch your balance!
Help. I'm not young anymore. How will I survive on my own?
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg! My leg! How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
Wait, What? Where are you taking me? Where was that quest going?
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
situation in Poisson, so we came as quickly as we could.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right, you'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
The situation in Poisson?
Ah, right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded in the waterways. But before we knew it, water started pouring out from everywhere. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water, leaking from somewhere. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, they suddenly disappeared. They were all dissolved. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, I've asked the people there to leave as soon as possible. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our best to help evacuate the residents. We still haven't completed the head count, but we'll have some numbers soon.
How awful. And all of this just came out of nowhere.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just happened was a bad dream.
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much it means to me. I really can't express how grateful I am.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
And off she goes. Seems it might be a while before she can take a break.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so I suppose I finally have a moment to focus on my own matters. Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Spina di Rosula ready to render assistance. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you. Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton of people here visiting graves.
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver. They won't ever come back here again. What should I do, Papa?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still... I was the one who initiated it. They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And they were caught in the seawater.
What should we do?
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just... gone. I just can't...
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic. He wouldn't be angry, would he?
Ah, how could Master ever be upset with you, Demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not? Everyone ends up here sooner or later, no matter who you are.
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, Demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it'll save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right. I'll remember your requests. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the journey even if I had to visit you two somewhere else. I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon does doesn't know how to help you feel better. But, well, she understands how you feel.
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be accomplished with someone else's help. Malus and Silver have helped me so much. But by contrast, I could do nothing for them. I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims from the incident that took place here.
Obena, Khan, Burnett, Giverny, Francine, Karina, Daisy Ray, Joinville, Julianne, Esson, as well as Malus and Silver. So, everyone else is safe. But still...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. We lost Malus and Silver. But we were able to save more than we anticipated. The overall outcome indicates that the cost was worth it.
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure, but that isn't something we should ever consider a trade. Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone. They're heroes.
You're right. Thank you, Paimon. What you said just now was pretty amazing, actually. I'll remember your words.
Oh, really?
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The knave? What are you doing here?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need to worry.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter, but that doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come looking for me. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation work so quickly.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with a Fatui before, and it's extremely important for us to know who we're working with. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies. I'm quite surprised.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. You've witnessed that firsthand, in any case. As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster. Lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be troubled by this token of our sincerity. Perhaps one day, you'll also be able to help me in the same way.
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties. I won't forget your kindness.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived a little earlier to prevent this from happening.
Don't say that. You and your subordinates did everything you could. As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. And they weren't the price paid for others' salvation. They chose to become heroes themselves. I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right now, there's nothing more suitable. They really did become heroes.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that prophecies represent fate. Fortunately, I've never been one for such opinions.
So, you're one who will try to change fate, then?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention. By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh? This isn't right. Paimon thought you would ask us to walk with you for a moment so you could tell us something in private.
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss Navia listening in. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearth's intelligence network with you. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times, and seem to be worth investigating in many ways. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more urgent, so any pertinent information will prove extremely precious. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly, this disaster struck, and at present, we're all busy prioritizing the rescue effort.
So that's why the Fatui were already in Poisson.
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist affected residents. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you. Which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such, even though you are not from the house. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Oh, that somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only natural that I freely share it with you.
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right? We can handle that.
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring
That's not
some
what I wanted
ruins?
to see. Okay, I will
You
be
need to
right back
rest.
really quick.
Well, I'm sad, yes. But I can't just go back and plop myself into a chair by the roadside and do nothing. There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. As my father's successor, I must live up to the hopes he had in me. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself. I need something, a distraction, to keep my mind off Malus and Silver.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. What do you say, Traveler?
Okay, there we go.
All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson. Here's the map.
Okay, the three of us will handle it. Come on, let's pack up and get going.
What did I miss? Oh, the ruins are pretty far. Wait. Oh, they're all over here. Okay. Oh, it's a dungeon. Okay. You don't see me. You don't see me. You don't see me. What? What are you trying to show me? What? I'll see what that is in a bit. What else are you trying to show me? What's that? Oh, clay. Huh. Wait, what? What do you mean 6? What? What is happening? Ooh. Ooh. There's a lot here. Hi. Gimme. 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 You.
So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa, talk about old.
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful.
Silence! Be sanctified. Settle down.
The gondola.
The floor here isn't safe. This place has also been contaminated by primordial seawater.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontanian would most likely dissolve the moment that—
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous, and it won't be any help for you to just stay here. Don't get Paimon wrong.
No, you're right. I can't do anything in this situation. That complicates things.
In that case, do you...
The water levels here are unstable. I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
Alright. Come with us for now then, but
okay, they've never
please
killed
be
off someone and nobody has complained yet. Nobody has said anything. I didn't get any spoiler warnings. So...
Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
Oh, I fell into the water. I want to climb that wall. Sir, thank you. I don't like it.
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge.
Did they finally do it? Nope, she's alive. She's the character.
Demoiselle.
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be...
Maybe she just wants some time to herself, Malus.
Oh. Was I sleeping?
Yes, it would appear so.
I must be tired.
That's quite possible. However, you were the one that suggested we go out for a walk.
Oh, right. I nearly forgot. It must have slipped my mind when I dozed off. I haven't had a nap today yet. Have I? This is a familiar feeling, yet something's a little strange.
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. No, I'm fine. I was just trying to recall why we came out for a walk.
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with foreign merchants who had a debt dispute with him, and we'd resolved the matter not long ago.
We were headed to see how things were going with him at the moment.
Ah, right. Yes. I remember now.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too. It's good to see all of you.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those bothersome merchants finally realized that I wasn't the one they were looking for. Why, I wasn't even the guarantor for that person. They were knocking at my door day and night. Even my neighbor, Obina, was getting fed up with them.
Sometimes force is required to calm someone down and get them to listen to what you have to say.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Burnett, what was it that you wanted to give to Miss Navia again?
Oh, yes. One moment, I have it right here. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. They're a very good variety, and they'll become very big and beautiful once they bloom. I don't know what we would have done without your help, so this is a little token of our appreciation. I hope you won't refuse.
Ah, did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you so much. I'll certainly take them. Balloose, we do still have some empty flower pots at home, right?
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for some of Mrs. Burnett's flowers.
Very well.
Wait. Something seems to be off here. Excuse me, madam. If I'm not mistaken, your name is Burnett, correct?
That's right. Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed familiar to me. I must have heard it when I was discussing things with your husband previously. I've heard this name before. Sometime recently, I'm sure of it. And why are there so few people around here? Where did everyone go?
We must mind the time, demoiselle. We still have important things to attend to today.
Huh? We do? Like what?
Well, now, did you forget?
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please, come to the Opera House. Your trial is about to begin.
My trial? Wait, why would I need to go to the Opera House?
Yes, she's right, demoiselle. It's just about time now, so we should get going.
Oh? All right then.
Look, it's Navia! She's here!
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be oddly excited about something. I even know some of these people. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many people here? And why do I have no recollection of this case? And as for the judge... huh? Where's Monsieur Neuvillette?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall accompany you.
All right. But are you sure you can stand behind me?
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but today is an exception.
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on, do they have any idea what they're doing?
Seriously.
Enough with the whispering! Could someone...
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet... As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rosula, someone held in high regard by every soul in Poisson. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. If anyone in need reached out to you, not only you, but your butler, your subordinate...
Wait a minute.
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And we are one big family, all of us who are from Poisson. Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty.
Huh? Everything you have said is correct.
Ah, well, if...
How... I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to...
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She...
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Schwanf...
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed, even the death of Master Callus couldn't stop her.
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely acted as an individual, extending her hand to help others. Please do not mistake her actions as being otherwise.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontanians here. Even if everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro, and in the end, everyone shall meld together. Thus, when a unanimous opinion emerges, that opinion represents justice. Now, I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay.
And you would call this justice? Have you forgotten how much you all want?
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and I shall defend Demoiselle. And that...
My head...
Demoiselle!
Silver, I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the very beginning. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and in the nation of trials, the majority is absolute justice. We are the— Don't let them escape! We shall—
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
And oceaned.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
He says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us! Miss Navia, she...
Silence!
There he is. He said it!
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense and cannot constitute a proper trial. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any unauthorized party.
Our thanks, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, Demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this place. What, can't bear to leave us behind or something?
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this shall be our last goodbye.
Malus... Silver...
Quickly, you must come now!
Goodbye, Demoiselle.
Farewell.
Okay, so he is the dragon. He's the guardian dragon. So I guess he can go into that world. So they're not.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I...
What is it?
I think I saw two Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second, but they gave me the chance to retrieve you. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like...
Perhaps those two Oceanids were the people you saw in your dream.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me. To think that they'd keep doing so even after death.
Please come with me.
Neverlet, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so stiff? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Huh? Why didn't you just...
I suppose so. Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the Fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her, has it?
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there. She's an amazing head nurse.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to understand the world of humanity, just as I have.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed by all that's happened lately.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope that everything is going well in the Fortress of Meropide.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. So, Neverlet. This isn't going anywhere.
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate. They had even transported a large quantity of supplies to the area. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think exploring the ruins would take very long, and who would have thought you'd wrap things up so quickly?
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Ah, yes.
Settle down!
Yeah.
The tides beckon.
Dada Kundala.
Kundala. It sounds like you say Dota Gordon. Oh, not again. I am booking it. Not again.
Oh no! Another unstable path! Watch your step! Watch out! There are rock falls over here!
Keep back! Be sanctified.
Damn.
Seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
Who's next? Ah, yes. A water and an air one.
Yeah.
Silence!
Yeah.
Step right up.
Let the mighty be humbled!
Can't handle your drink. Huh.
And voila!
Bow your head. The tides beckon.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates. It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
It's like, I know this.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this... what is this? Some kind of island in the sky?
And is that Lady Furina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the water?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your duties.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at these slates. This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy's sure to come true.
I really hope it doesn't mean that.
Still, Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird when you look at them together.
Huh. That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third? Where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Furina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does match the records. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she be in such a posture? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the prophecy? Does that mean that someone, or some people, once saw these slates?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Furina.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back first.
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's some things you just need to be there for yourself.
You still have energy for that, Navia? Paimon's already beat.
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then. Thanks for keeping me company all this time.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk to Furina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem? Paimon's getting a little scared now that it's come to this.
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily, which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best person to talk to her anyway.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you, as ever. So please don't think you're an imposition. All right. I'll be on my way then.
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two tonight.
Yay! And there's good food too! Navi, no, the boss is the best. Ooh, desserts! Nice! These are all Paimon's! Paimon's already starting to forget what happened today.
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
It...
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road. Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontanian, are you, Mona? Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Quite unexpectedly, if I might add. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadt surname? Yeah, let's go with that. Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was to change that name. There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan. It isn't? Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great. Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that into your genealogy as well? I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one. Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus. Whoa, that's a long one. My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice as great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to astrology. Thrice as great? That's... I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but... Talk about excessive. Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the... That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you? Well, I was born. Oh, that's a good thing then. Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the invitation was sent quite early on. What do you make? What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine. I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely... A visionary? Of course. The old hag could do it, and I'd bet there... All right, I'll help you. Thanks, Mona. You're amazing. Oh, well, this is... That's the greatest... Indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need...
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now. And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious... If Paimon hadn't spoken for you, it'd be you getting all the weird looks. That's more like... Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette.
You're here! Finally!
Is
Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady
Like I said, I've already explained everything!
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Faust. Look at this. This is a list of the
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 featured... The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling...
I don't!
I'll ask you again. My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself, and I understand your concern.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Furina, but there are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but just trust in me. You're Archon. That's all I have to say. We do not... Oh!
Did Furina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh! You noticed! Seems Furina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial.
But Furina's seen so many
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god... But who will let...
Boats of quiet Poisson.
Well, that's everyone. Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me?
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become...
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things.
That was a little long-winded.
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the as for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling...
Oh?
Well...
Huh?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a...
I see.
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette...
I've also gone...
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Our line of work requires a deft hand.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates...
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion.
I'd probably use some... I remember that you liked those too.
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do...
That makes sense. You usually solve, but I do have one more question. If we were to create a trap now...
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey.
Kind, as always. However, our intention, if we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait.
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides...
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that...
Wait, are we not already at the base? Oh, wait. Oh, we're in that little hiding area.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been... Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh? Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised.
Fremine was.
Well...
I mean, yeah. Well, I was terrified.
It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon, then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
The tea is talking. Ho ho.
Have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar.
The voice from the sky. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling... Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friends to the prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesized will be fulfilled. You may...
What?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat... so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking?
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone. What? I want to hear someone talking. Alright. Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Luna!
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I assume you've heard of her, no? That daredevil journalist? I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so... Perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon, are you two all right?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now.
I see. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as but even so, I still hope for Perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all.
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astral. It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only. I suppose that might be why we.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Paimon said let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Okay, let's go.
Huh? Our name? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report, a blonde adventurer with their white fairy legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her!
That's,
She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead? Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
I love the jaded tone. Paimon will forgive her this time. That's hilarious. But the next time, Paimon will rip into her like it's Mortal Kombat and give her a fatality real quick. You guys know Paimon's a god.
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat? Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it! Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go, but...
1 slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have... These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know
I sure do. She was born before... She said that I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now.
there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious.
Was it? Did I read that wrong? You share a glass post.
It's more delicious than last time, and the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea.
Yeah. It's so weird how cold the tea gets now.
Oh, we're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
I thought you forgave her, Paimon. He's like, oh, we're near here.
If it isn't the
Let's
Traveler
go
and
visit
Paimon!
Charlotte.
Have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve. You just used us to make some quick mora.
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really? Oh, you're the best!
Wow, you switched really quick.
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon.
Oh, Paimon knows you're...
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
A friend of ours met you a while back, and when she mentioned it, we thought of coming to see you. Her name's Mona.
Ah, so you know Miss Mona as well. She's a guest columnist for our paper. Really good one, too. She's so young and already such a brilliant astrologist. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Yeah, are we?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're...
Oh, in that case...
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief. Ooh, so much to get done.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example...
Huh, that's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, if you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better so in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit... Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully... And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use... I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic. But I do love my job. And I'd be proud of leaving such an art... But anyway...
That's so nice. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
Yes?
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask if you could choose. We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough.
I always want
But
to
it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the fortress of Meropide. Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, Lady Furina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, loudly accusing her of doing nothing, and before she could respond, the crowd continued to grow and protest against the—
So people have started to put the blame on Furina. Guess they finally found an out—
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But
So what happened to—
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control, and that further argument, the Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Furina had gone. Only when—
So, you mean—
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched— That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Good.
Don't worry, this is more—
Is that so?
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Furina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. And, as we also know, she may be when Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonium, it would be hard for her to— Paimon thinks Furina's probably taken the opportunity to slip— Huh! Well, what do you think? In that case, there's not a moment to—
The look they gave each other. Okay, let's go.
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Furina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. That's Furina, right over there.
Should I just give up? What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Give up, Furina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaning? Who's that?
Don't worry, Furina. Furina, you were
what do you mean? Who'd they even dare to— Oh, and I'm sure Neuvillette and those people from—
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Furina, those people seem to be after you.
They are?
Furina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up with her!
Such an intense chase between ordinary people and the traveler who could send them flying.
This should be the place, right? Hey, Furina! There's a good hiding spot over here!
What?
Hurry, they're almost here!
Fine. I suppose haste is— No! I mean, I merely gave in to the
Yep, that's a good—
What's happening?
Yeah, a quake—
It can't be.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Neuvillette's made some emergency—
Yeah, but the people of Poisson—
It's true. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way. Give up. I do, indeed. I've thought about fate is real, but just now, it all became clear. As long as the final... Don't worry. Well, that's enough for now. I got the input. Don't take any of what I just said.
Come on! Paimon could have sworn...
Cher, that's impossible. It was fated right... A witness. Yes. And if Tevat is in its entire...
Ladies and gentlemen, now, without further ado...
So, do not forget, however, that...
May I interpret these words? As your in that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade... I see. It seems like you have made up...
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on?
Wow. How
Lady Furina.
It would seem that there has been...
Looking for excuse...
I raised my hands I will admit that I'm sorry, everyone. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. But now, I, Furina, will use this trial to show the world the truth. This time, applaud and rejoice. One of the most mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of fun.
Woohoo! I'm waiting for that moment
Now we're
that I've
making
seen on TikTok where
Why does it feel like Furina just took over the whole thing?
That
come
stupid
on!
machine's made.
Also, even though
and
she's
people have
still
been
acting
using it to,
super
like,
dramatic...
Dance?
All right, then.
I'm waiting for it.
Who will...
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Also, please allow me to ask just how much work...
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president...
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect... The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of... Moreover, according to our understanding...
So, you mean... the ones who scout...
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest
That's right. That house was a magic box.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese. The volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Araneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Furina. Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora we had to select a
So, in other words, the earthquake...
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess you gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that also that as soon as I appeared on the stage...
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, as for you, Traveler, you'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor when... Oh? It's fine. It matters not. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial.
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here. Oh, let Paimon see. Wait, then that means this document. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, all right?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duels you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, all right. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Neuvillette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out. A Fatui Harbinger. She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. According to Monsieur Neuvillette, both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that's the words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Neuvillette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand.
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Furina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the...
Charge accepted. Lady Furina. Lady Furina.
I plead not guilty. There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Furina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything.
Yeah, even though Lady
Yeah.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon See? Even the oratory, if you wish to
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We often...
Well, I try. And if I was not...
That doesn't sound... First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your...
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave?
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an arc, but in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed...
You sensed it too, huh, Neverlet?
Lady Furina.
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and...
Well, don't start. Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human... For centuries, one need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'An...
You tried to reference the Oratrice. But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions...
Lady Furina, I believe a reminder, while the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must... You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought...
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Furina. I've merely reiterated...
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice.
Yeah, you tell him, Paimon.
Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon. It is true that I did not know why but the Oratrice handed out that... You can't argue that just because a divine
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident.
My power.
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
You don't...
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or...
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their... Thus did I give up...
Isn't that?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power?
It seems like nobody's buying Furina's...
Hey, come now, everyone! I'm still the same Furina, you please?
If what the prosecutor said is true...
Did she deceive all of us?
Enough! That's enough. Tell me then, if you have no evidence...
Wow, she came up with yet a...
Pretty sure it's, a whale. No?
That doesn't...
Hey. This doesn't make sense either. Oh, right? This doesn't make sense either.
It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. So, Miss Furina, if we are to believe that you are indeed the god, if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina...
If Lady Furina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she...
Lady Furina, this test has been
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to
She's just staring at the water with her...
What's going on?
Due to the inherent risk of the test...
What?
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! Will you believe—
Miss Siegeween, if you are present, Miss—
Siege, don't be nervous. It'll... That should...
Please announce the results.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Furina was displaying she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent...
Thank you, Miss Siegeween.
Oh, wait. What did she just say?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your however, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve in we don't want anyone else to—
Yeah, so out of regard for Furina's life, you secured a low concentration... It's a great thing that the direct...
Listen to me, everyone! Think about it! How can you conclude— Also... Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your...
I don't think anything she says at this point.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's...
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end.
Here it comes.
If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway her. She's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Furina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Furina is... guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
It's gonna say not guilty, I'm pretty sure.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice...
No, the Oratrice...
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: to be punished via...
That's actually one of the available sentences?
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very
Furina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted...
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes?
Yeah! Even Fache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice!
Indeed. Not only is Furina's sentence overly excessive, but now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberate...
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial
Fremine! Huh, you finally made it.
Mm-hmm. Any mission...
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged...
I looked everywhere, and finally found it at the bottom of... But... has the trial already concluded?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me... Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing...
Huh? So what do you see?
I believe I have now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? So when you say Hydro Archon...
In truth, Everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Wait, are they all oceanids? And the water's just turning them back into original forms? So they're not humans, they're all oceanids. Oh my god, that makes more sense of why humans are dissolved in water. They're not being dissolved! They're being turned back into what they originally were! They're being turned back into water! Huh. Why did that click when we saw the Navia scene?
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other
Back
3
when
stone
Furina-
slates. Paimon will do her
Furina
best
saved
to
up-
help you remember.
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Back when, during the fountain scene with the guy we found who, the first trial with Linne? Remember, the fountain was crying and you could hear Furina cry or somebody crying? That water turned you back into your original form, which is water. It's not a death water. It's water that will revert processes, that will revert you. It could be water that can revert magic. So if a god turns you into a human, you must understand that primordial water will just revert that process and turn you back into a regular ocean and water. They aren't dying. They're just being returned to where they came from. So when it's like, you're one of us, you will stay with us and be one of us, it's not saying you'll be one of the dead. It's saying you will revert back to being an oceanid. And you'll just go back to being us. Water. Originally what you were. One of them. One of water. So, in truth, I'm just talking with my ass, but in truth what I'm trying to say is the water is not the thing killing people. It's trying to just bring back what was taken from it. You took creatures of the water, turned them into humans. That is your sin. You are stealing from the water, and the water wants it back. So the water will take it back. It's destroying Fontaine because that's where you're holding the water, the oceanids, the humans. This is all speculation for me. I have no idea. But the water's just trying to take it all back. That's what I think. So basically what's happening is... Yes.
The first stone slate describes what you... Does that mean that Fontanians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
Yes.
The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them.
Oceanids wanted to be humans, so the Hydro Archon made them humans. But the gods didn't like that. You are not allowed to do that. You are a god. You cannot tamper with the world, because fate and the world will fight back.
This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontanians were branded with their original sin.
Correct.
Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon seeking into the sea surrounded by many people. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontanians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we?
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved in primordial seawater, and the first stone slate tells us that long ago, the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans. This might be the
Next one, we'll go for this one. We'll verify the truth of this one with child.
That doesn't sound
What?
quite right. That doesn't sound... That doesn't...
Is it Furina?
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervalet mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
No. Oh yeah, no. It's still that, right? Yeah.
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontainians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may, if we hadn't dealt with it in time.
So the sinking one, is it Navia? It is Navia.
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing?
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid!
Yep.
The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay.
Okay.
The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropide was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The prophecy's contents can all be verified by recent events. Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's... but... then it feels like...
Let's hear them.
Incredible.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered
Yeah, you're not allowed to
Celestia
do
by
that.
creating
You're messing up
humans
everything.
without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only, did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, when we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make...
Okay, here we go.
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and the sin of in the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids.
I love it when I write. Holy shit.
Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to... Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon...
This really might be too much information for your...
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective position... A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this... The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate, that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes, it refers...
I think I'm following now. So, what you're... In truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold.
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what.
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate...
Traveler, I would like to point out another small... About the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of... However, I believe that as for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already... This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come.
It was both dream and reality.
I love the Traveler's voice. I would love to just hear him, like,
If we're
tell a
talking
story with
about
that
a
voice.
true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food.
We just barely managed to push it back.
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank from the way he looked. He must have been fighting the...
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but anyway, now that we know that this whale is...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still...
That's not... We've already done everything we can, and we've come
Indeed.
I'll fight it to the end.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy, yes. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen, ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future.
All you need to do...
All you need to do is to play your part.
What's happening with the aura trees?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Furina! No, I still need answers.
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression...
You are not Furina.
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous.
Fusolo.
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. The heavenly principle.
Deceiving the
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria, for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Furina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Furina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles.
She was absolutely amazing, the perfect human being.
Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Furina is only human. Even though she has had a long life, her mind... I cannot begin to fathom.
It has indeed. And although she is innocent, it's been 5, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Jesus! Poor Furina, man. Oh, I can't be cool. I have to walk around like a proper person. I'm going around. I'm walking around towards the stage. Stop.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, I understand. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me. Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel it? I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I'm...
Oh, that's an easy way to fix this. Give me a second. Yeah, no, all I have to do is grab my giant sword and...
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Now disappear!
Silence!
Oh!
One hit.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Step!
Silence!
Now just
bow your head.
Oh, I'm playing. Okay. I'm playing as her.
Furina. Furina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're... Mirror me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me? What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think... I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human, my ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role, that of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this?
Don't worry. What you must do is not being a human yourself. Remember, you're...
So, how...
To accomplish this mission, you will have but, I promise you,
a trial.
Two. There's multiple scenes.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? Ladies, I'm sure you've all heard about how I have... In truth, I know little about... As the god Focalor, the god once again, this... I thought
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the...
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might...
Wait, what's going on? Why is right? Calm down, Furina. Assertive, with a... Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to... Well, you may consider my previous act a door gift. Now then...
So that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were in...
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow... My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice.
We have heard it said that this nation sins the scales of may law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. There is no trouble in this world that so long as
Yes! Oh, yeah!
I'm gonna speed up a little bit because I do have stuff to do really soon.
Lady Furina, here are today's case reports as well as
Besides,
if I may be so impertinent.
a magnificent.
That's true,
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Okay, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't walking. The game was making me walk.
Lady
I wasn't doing that on
Furina,
purpose, I'll be honest.
I don't know what to say.
No need. All right.
His...
Like, the traveler's just sitting down there. Like, obviously you can't see right now, but he's just sitting down there like, what the hell is happening here? Ah, yes.
Lady Furina.
I see. It's as I thought then.
As your god, all manner. Really?
I'm...
This is her doing her research. On their deathbed?
The day is finally over, but it's good to see that everything's getting... Maybe this is fine.
There's more. Okay.
Lady Furina, here are the new trial reports.
There'll be no need for that.
Lady Furina, I've...
Indeed, my dear.
Lady Furina, we're detecting significant...
Understood. Keep monitoring. I feel utterly exhausted.
Oh, it's repeating, which she's doing every single day. Gotta keep up the act, right? Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god. Team 182,005 Opera House Furina.
Lady Furina, I've heard that the first...
What?
Are you crying?
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god.
So interminable. Hundreds of years must have passed by now. I never imagined. Have I want to tell Sky of conduct. All I can do is keep heart.
Oh my god, it's still going. Okay, last day. Furina and...
Furina, you don't have to show... Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone. Your people are...
Share. That's impossible.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, just share it with me.
A witness. And if to that...
He's right. But if they... No, Furina. But what if Furina Is it such an outrageous thing if you let this opportunity think about it long and hard? No. All you need to do, dear spectator, is...
Fine.
So even Furina doesn't know the truth? You've never once...
Yes, it had to be done. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even one... It seems that trusting
I believe that I understand how you're How would you build on this foundation to...
Ah, good, good. Of course the Eudex of Fontaine has I'm sure you've...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice. It now seems that that person was you. Hidden within the...
And then I became one with the oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes. Alas, your understanding... In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only... I mean, did you think I would be the sort... My work over these last 500 years has been... But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the vast majority has been... Had to be.
It was all a part of your plan.
Indeed. This power accrued over 5 centuries, but only power...
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Furina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet. Oh, what? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign.
All you've done throughout the years is...
I've never quite seen... Hydro Dragon. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge that Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principle stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial seas might, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, in other words, existence was Egeria's just defying the... At this point, Eudex Nerville...
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as... At last. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of... You are... Things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare that...
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Ex Nouvellette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Shaking. Yeah. What did I think?
What just happened?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirect?
But since
It's time to end this. I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our traveler. Now that the oratories can no longer function, I'm at the root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Come with me, traveler.
Alright, let's fuck it up. Let's completely demolish this goddamn whale. Time to go whale hunting.
We're going to execute it? But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I've already done my best to separate the power of my holy sea from the way. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together.
Okay, but like, where?
I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility. The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself.
Why is there a hole-looking thingy over there? It looks really scary!
Step right up!
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
How are you now?
Let the mighty be humbled. Bow your head. Be sanctified.
It's her.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but... oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought.
That power.
Paimon has an idea. It's just that he gave us the impression that she was,
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, so you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise that kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. All in all.
Miss...
The point...
Well, being that this... So what sort of person is your master? Well...
Oh, right. So his name is Sertologi.
I am unfamiliar.
Huh. So master isn't sufficiently famous.
The foul.
Still nothing?
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhine Doctor's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar...
Wait! Didn't you also mention of...
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep sea. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most... In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over.
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Furina will remain, weeping on her throne.
All this happened while we were in that world. But here's the thing.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Pretty sure they're coming back. Bird.
Hey! Help! Over here! All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
Hey, Terminator. My boy.
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
didn't think the Archon quest would take this long, but damn. This is really good. I like this one.
The Solo renewed! The Sfina di Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Sfina di Rasula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like skyship winglet, lunar brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become people always call the... Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like...
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's eye, the value for these big scoops lies in their Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a...
Paimon's curious?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best.
Are you sure?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on!
Ooh. Wait. No, go ahead. This is not... No. It is. It's the legendary for this. Pretty sure. Alright, so I have a legendary for that. Okay. Here's you. No. Poisson.
Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things...
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of... But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible.
That would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials.
Huh?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Furina. So she's here in Poisson to...
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision-makers.
Oh, wait, just a moment. Do you mind me asking if you...
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I see you're the same as always.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me.
Or, of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then
How did it go? Was it a good shot?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to... Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows?
Wow, you really...
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're...
That's a...
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was... When did the fort... I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no...
You're right. I've got to...
Stay safe now. And tell me...
Alright, Fortress of Meripede it is. Oh. So I gotta go right there, so that's the second one. Oh, nope, bottom floor. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic...
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored...
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be,
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to...
Sir, please don't say...
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier did not...
No, I just... This...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually... The boat that brought about a miracle... Still, if I might have...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have...
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps...
Did you really have to use the word? Well, then, 2 solo photos...
Is my hair messed up? Please.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to...
Ah, see...
Hey, Miss Charlotte.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been?
Same old same.
Other than that flying ship, I got a...
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes.
You're too kind, sir.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers...
He sure did win them up.
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face...
Oh, actually...
What change can there be? As to what Miss Furina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those...
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go.
There'll be a...
Maybe. Who knows? I might... All right. Last stop, the docks.
Oh, you do that? No, just jump. Huh?
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is...
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal.
Trick a friend. I wonder...
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I...
You sure are working hard to help Fremine social.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic...
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later...
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with...
Lynette, could you...
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events.
That's all right.
Oh, I guess you haven't... After Lady Furina left, Father and Monsieur Nervillet opened negotiations, during which he gave...
A diplomatic...
Yes. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to...
Well, that's true, but...
I would agree, but I've also heard that...
So there's some...
I suspect you'll have to ask him about...
Isn't he real busy and... But back to the topic. The Gnosis was given...
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui...
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the Traveler by chance. Please do not pick...
Are you going to take the Gnosis?
That is our duty, as... Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire... Switching my masks is something I've all... Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the... As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision?
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there...
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled...
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon.
To move things about?
That's right. I guess this must... Alright then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte, huh? Shall we go see what Neverlette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
Neverlet. Then I had to go fight the bosses, and I had to do so much shit. Oh my god. Ready 12. Oh, they flew away. My food.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of opera. No two cases are alike.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here, Neverlet! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain...
Aw, Paimon's glad they... Alright, let's have it then. How was...
It is strange how...
Whoa. So that's what happened? Fussalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully... But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the...
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to... In other words, when I...
Fussalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true. What? Yeah.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. there. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider. As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was things. Hang on a second. Back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real human.
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall?
Yeah, Lynette said the
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans.
Paimon sorta get.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about that.
Ah, Lady Furina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she simply said that she was tired. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the opera house. Not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she...
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your...
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our...
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the...
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power... As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost... Additionally, the...
That's true. That power was direct... Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I...
Wow. This ancient dragon...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide. As far as I'm aware, Natlan...
A nation of dragons?
No, I suspect that I would not find... Unlike ancient dragons, such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and even... Natlan is also the nation of war. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
The Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. When we spoke to Linny earlier, we guessed that there might be some reason...
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui. So regarding this specific issue, I was... In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside...
What next?
The all-devouring... I can finally catch the set. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons. But with something very similar to a god. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you
You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yeah?
Remains?
According to your...
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that...
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So it is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of... Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bond...
What do you mean by...
No need to fret. These are just my...
This third descender you...
Master never mentioned them to me. If you're interested, though, I could...
Next time, you believe...
I do. Wait.
That's what she told me.
The remains of the... So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or
And she said that it would bring misfortune.
if she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting... I guess that you might already be familiar with this concept. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do... I wonder...
Like being able to... No, let's not think comparing the Traveler to the Dead Third. That's what you say, but this topic's still... Once child recovers, let's get some more answers out.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is...
Alright. Whatever the case, it seems like the...
Yes. All the
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all...
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day... Life flows like... And what ultimately?
Alright. 4.2 done. Oh my god! That took so long. That's quite a while to beat. I didn't go
Once, there was a glorious kingdom established.
Okay. I'm gonna end stream here. Cause I got stuff to do. I will stream later. I actually will. After this week. The Heartsteel skins. And Plat 3. I want to clan. Or theoretic, whatever happens. Till then, if you're lurking, if you're watching, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it no matter what. Till next stream.